So, it was announced earlier today via Bleacher Report, or at least that's how I found out about it,
Mhm.
that WWE will be returning to the United Kingdom with its Money in the Bank premium live event. It will be on July 1st, 2023 at the O2 Arena in London. How do you feel about the fact that Money in the Bank is heading to London? Now this makes two premium live events in the UK over the course of a year. So I just wanted to know your take on that.
Oh, I'm here for it. I love it. I enjoyed when they were doing Clash of the Castle. I thought the audience was fun. I love what they did with the stage there, and it makes me excited to see what kind of stage they're gonna rock with for Money in the Bank. I do want to see like more shows in the UK just in general. So I think it's awesome. What do you have any like ideas about what they would do differently for Money in the Bank if it was in London?
Well, I don't know if they would do anything differently necessarily. Um obviously it would be dope to see Drew win the Money in the Bank in UK, considering that he lost the opportunity to win the title.
You think people
However,
would
I just
care?
feel like huh?
You think people would care by that point?
I I think people would care. I think that I think that people would care. I feel like, but there are also opportunities for other things to happen in the UK outside of Drew. I think there's some superstars to pay attention to. Pete Dunne is number one on that list. I can see Pete
Mhm.
Dunne having a big moment at that show in the UK. But as far as like the show overall, I don't think that they need to do anything different. But I think that this is Money in the Bank is the perfect show to have in the UK because it's an unpredictable show. And the UK is an unpredictable crowd. And so when you kind of merge those two concepts and you mix it in with the fact that anything could happen at Money in the Bank, there's going to be two Money in the Bank winners. One can cash in that night, another one can hold on to the briefcase. Championships are going to be defended. You don't know which is going to be cashed in on what. Since now, Austin Theory tried to cash in for the US title. It's like, oh, now somebody could cash in for an Intercontinental title. Somebody could cash in for, whatever.
Mhm.
So I'm very, very eager to see what they do, but I don't think that there's going to be anything like significantly different. But the crowd is going to be a major, major factor
I
into this.
I only said that because they put more effort with the stage, and then they had Tyson Fury come up. That was obviously like a
Hmm.
big pop of the show. And the pacing just made it feel like it was a standout pay per view the entire year. So I just feel like,
Yeah.
considering that it's a rarity for them to go fly out the country, to go to places like obviously the UK, I feel like there has to be something sprinkled in there to make it differently, because like, why did you
Hmm.
choose London of all places, you know what I mean? So I expect a guest appearance. I don't see Drew winning because I just don't feel like people would care, but if Pete Dunne won, that'd be something I definitely could get behind. I would definitely like to see someone from Europe in general just win something in the UK, because I you wasted Broken Dreams, you know what I mean? So I personally can't care. I can't find a fuck to give. You can't play what?
Ooh, Gunther versus Drew for the IC title in the UK.
Ooh. Ooh. Ooh.
I'm
That's
intrigued. I'm
yes.
intrigued. I'm interested in that. That
Yeah.
just randomly popped into mind. But keep going. What were you gonna
No,
say?
no, no. Actually, I could actually get behind. Don't put him in the Money in the Bank, but give me a one on one, and I could deal with that. Give someone else the Money in the Bank, because me personally, I feel like Money in the Banks are just more interesting when like a heel wins. So
Yeah.
I kind of don't need to see Drew as a heel. I like him more as a baby face. So if you could give me like a heel Gunther with a baby face Drew, do what you will with that. That I could get behind. But like, save the Money in the Bank for someone else who doesn't get enough shine, who hasn't had the opportunity yet, because that's just what I feel like the Money in the Bank is built for.
Hmm.
That's my take.
I was gonna say though, what do you feel about the fact that they've had two events over the course of like a year though? Like this is the second UK paper. I don't think that the WWE has done two events kind of in the same region, with the exception of Saudi Arabia. Do you think that it says WWE is kind of favoring the UK a little bit over other places in the
Well,
world,
yeah, because it's
or
like safer. It's not as stressful to get over there. The crowd's like amped up. You don't have to throw as much money, because like when it comes to like Saudi shows, it's like you always have to have star power. That's stressful to try to call these big names up and try to get them to give a fuck to show up again, because at some point they don't care. They already have like something else established elsewhere, whether it's movies or whatever. You know what I mean? I feel like at some point it's gonna all fizzle out because these people are getting older, you know, and they all can't keep hanging. How many times you're gonna call, well, Taker already retired, but how many times are you gonna call people back like Goldberg and stuff like that to show up? You know what I mean? They're running out of names to call, and it's gonna become more apparent, and they kind of need to focus again on different crowds, and kind of follow a similar formula to what they did with Clash of the Castle, because I just thought, to me, that gives back more to like the product. You know what I mean? I know that they get a lot of money out of Saudi Arabia, but it's just like I don't see that being a thing within the next 5 years. I feel like it's gonna have to like stop
Hmm.
and take a hold. Because like again, like who are you gonna keep calling? That's why you need to work on your
True.
freaking division, because you know what I mean. Like another 10 years from now, like what's gonna happen? Who are you gonna call to get ratings up? You need to have people, you know, now that are on fire, so that, you know, when that time comes and you need a big name that's going to be a draw, and you have a newer form of audience that's coming in, that's growing up, you need that era, because they're not good at that point. They're going to be obsolete. The names that we pay attention to, that we know now, they're going to be so obsolete, or they're going to be old, that it's not going to matter. They're not going to draw a dime for you. So keep it in the UK. That's what I think. What do you think?
I think you were spot on. The UK is a lot safer to get to and safer to navigate. Obviously, the UK and the US have positive relationships from a government standpoint because of that.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about cats being left behind and
Mm-hmm.
all that. So, and you have multiple WWE superstars who are from the UK who have a strong relationship with that region, whether it's Sheamus or Pete Dunne or Drew McIntyre. You have like that relationship going, and you want to keep that going and strong. And just not to mention the fact that the crowds are just so amazing. And I feel like if they are committed to the UK long term, they're just going to want to do as many events there as they possibly can. So that's that's my take on it, honestly. But we want to know
Yeah.
what y'all feel. How do you guys feel about Money in the Bank being in London July 1st at the O2 Arena?